Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to episode 34 of Crystalline Rays. My name is Rena. I am a master dowser, master geomancer, and spiritual alchemist, and I assist beautiful souls all over the world in welcoming abundant health, wellness, success, and happiness into their lives. Guys, I've missed you, and I am so grateful to be back here. Although I probably sound a little raspy today. We have a lot of smoke from the Canadian wildfires in the air, and it is affecting me something fierce. So I am going to push through this episode. I have a bottle of water. I'm going to add more smoke to the room by lighting my smudge pot. So I think we can make it through this. So just going to light our smudge pot like we do at the beginning of every show. All right. Here it is, guys. What do you think? Think about all the things that you are ready to release so that your energy can be refreshed and renewed on this beautiful day. And as you think about all of these things, subconsciously and conscious, any old patterns, fears, illusions, doubts, karmic patterns, thoughts, emotions. Go ahead and release that into the smoke now. Going to share some of this with you. Take a deep breath in and allow it to come into your lungs and your chakras, cleansing the space of your room. And let's just refresh all of this beautiful energy so that we can start anew. Awesome. Awesome. I'm going to just set this aside and let that smoke continue to clear as we continue on with our show. We are going to be talking about tarot readings today. Raise your hand if you've ever had a tarot reading. It is a big part of my profession, and I would like to share just some thoughts on having some questions, some topics, or an area of focus for your tarot readings. Now, this can be for your own personal tarot readings, or if you are going to somebody, a professional, for a reading. And let me just start by saying some readers don't like it when you go in with a question or focus. It was recently my birthday, and to celebrate, I did all of the things that I love. I don't normally go to just any tarot reader. So I knew that the other sweet lady that goes to the crystal shop that I go to on Saturdays was going to be in town. She travels about 3 hours away once a month to come on a Saturday and offer tarot readings. And she's wonderful. But I went in, and it had been a while since I've seen her. I went in and I had some questions. I had some areas of focus. And she just preferred that I didn't ask questions. She told me to think about anything that I had on my mind for the reading. So it was kind of generalized, and it turned out to be a fabulous reading. But I just kind of want to give you a different perspective on what it's like to have a focus for your reading. So let's restart this episode. No, just kidding. Tarot readings can be very helpful tools as they provide insight and guidance into relationships, finances, decisions, and situations that may arise as you navigate your life, right? We all have situations that arise. And like I said, tarot readings can be amazing tools for you. So I am an intuitive tarot reader. What does this mean? This means that I didn't learn to read tarot by memorizing the little book in the back of the cards. Um, I had tried for a while to learn to read tarot that way. I knew I was very intuitive. I had a lot of spirit messages coming through, but I just could not connect with my cards in that fashion. So when I learned to read tarot, I was taught by somebody else who was also very intuitive and just had a totally different take on life, as far as tarot readings. I'm kind of stumbling here, guys. Bear with me. I think it's the smoke in the air clouding my head. So I'm going to bring in some ivory light for transparency. Anyway, she taught us to read tarot intuitively. That means colors, symbols, numbers, looking at the pictures, allowing the pictures to tell us the story for your reading. Okay. It's a very different way to read. And sure, like let's say the high priestess comes up for you. There is a very generalized meaning to that card that you can kind of pull in and play on. But she might have a different message for you than that very generalized meaning. She might be telling you something deeper, something more mysterious. And until I look at those cards and look at the whole story, that's where everything unfolds, right? So I read cards just a little bit differently. And I know most people do. Most people have their own general way that works for them. So, not that any tarot reader is wrong. It's just I do things a little bit differently. I know a lot of people like to come in, and when I'm doing readings and I'm telling them their story, and they're like, well, what does this card mean? I can give you the generalized meaning of that card, but it might be telling a different story in your reading, depending on what I see, what that card is telling me, what pictures are popping up, what colors, what symbols, the numbers, all of those things. So a an intuitive tarot reading is tuning into the energy of the client to gain insight into a situation. The cards act as windows into the energy or as pieces of the puzzle for the reader to tune into. By connecting to the reader's higher self, to their guides, and to the guides of the client or the querent who's coming to you for the reading, the tarot reader is able to use their intuition to see, sense, feel, know, or hear messages or the meanings of the meanings of the cards, excuse me. The messages offered unfold as the reader works through the card layouts. Told you I'm stumbling a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. Bear with me. Like I said, you guys are such good troopers. Thanks for being here today. The reading will show you the energy as it is at the time of the reading and the direction it is currently heading. The reading might show what needs to be done for a particular outcome and will show the outcome if the client is willing to do the work that is recommended. The reading may also offer information to karmic or past life connections. Warnings may be given to prevent a situation from happening. It all depends on what information comes through. Sit with that for a minute. Think about that. Okay? With this bit of knowledge, I encourage you to go into your tarot readings with questions in mind or an area of focus. Now, hear me out. To quote an old friend, general readings bring very general messages. And I feel like that is totally true. Um, and not that I don't do general readings, I do offer them. But here's how I offer them. Because I get a lot of people who come into me for a first time tarot reading, and they might not know what to ask or how this works. So I use a very general basis, a very general reading to kind of open the door to see where the energy's at, what's popping up for them. And then I allow them to ask questions because that's just kind of like a door opening, right? So that's how I work with general readings. If it is your first time, you may not quite know what to explore. And I have just a few ideas of some of the most basic things people come to me for. So here's just some topics for you to kind of consider if you're going to a tarot reader and would like an area of focus. So a really popular one that I hear is, am I on the right path? Oftentimes that is definitely one of the most heard of questions that I get. Cards of encouragement. That's also a big one. Sometimes people just need to know A, that they're on the right path, B, that someone's got their back, and just some general advice to kind of lift them up, push them through. It's kind of a neat reading to do for those. Careers is a big one. Promotions, new jobs, financial outlooks. Another big one, opportunities that await you. Sometimes things may seem a little stagnant. That can be a really good one that can kind of open doors, kind of help you keep your eyes open for things that are coming forward again, or some messages that are coming through from your guides to keep an eye out for. Decisions that you need to make. This is also a really big one. People will come in and say, look, here's just an example. I can move to California and take this job. I can move to Florida and take this job, or I might be able to stay here and keep doing what I'm doing. Can you tell me how these pieces fit into my life, how the energy is flowing into these situations? Are there things I need to be aware of and look out for in these opportunities? So decision making is a really, really good one to go and see a tarot reader for. Um, and then I always express, because it's kind of fun, if something pops up where, say, maybe it's the California job or maybe it's the Florida job. As a dowser and geomancer, I can kind of help tune in and sitting with a map of the city that they're looking to work in, help them find a place that energetically supports their work, their purpose, their ability to manifest, all of those things. So really, really cool tools that I can work with for you. Another good one, steps that you need to take in order to reach your goals. Okay? Because sometimes we know what we're shooting for, we know what we're reaching out to the stars for, and sometimes we can see one step, maybe two, maybe three, you get the idea, but maybe you're not quite sure how to connect things, or if there's another piece of advice coming forward for you in that sense. It can be really fun to look at a tarot reading for that kind of purpose. Relationships is also a big one. Relationships is probably, I should have put that as number one. That is probably the one that I see the most in offering tarot readings. And these can be relationships as far as love between you and a partner, or if a partner is coming into your life. These can be relationships as far as your friendships that you have in your life, even relationships in your work life, your colleagues, how it's fitting in, how you can better work with these people, or what you need to be aware of in order to lift up the relationship, or kind of offer ease of flow there. So there's lots and lots and lots of relationship readings that I do. um Travel. Maybe you want to take a trip. Maybe you're looking for the best time of year to take that trip, or what you need to do in order to make that trip manifest in your life. Or again, maybe if it's, say, Japan, or England, or maybe California, or, whatever, if you're looking at making a decision as to where you need to take that trip, or, those kind of things. Um, Events is also another big one. I see lots of people for, let's say, they know they have this trip or this situation coming up, this event that's happening in their life. Um, what do they need to be aware of during this event? Or are there things they need to look out for? What colors should they wear to this event? Or who should they take with it? Just all of these things that can kind of float around. I'm just giving you some very broad examples to kind of get the juices flowing in your mind a little bit. One of my personal favorite readings I like to do: what you need to see, what you need to know, and where to focus your attention or energy in order to grow, right? So that's kind of like a past, present, future reading, but it's a little more defined, right? Because what do you need to see in your life? What do you need to be aware of? What do you need to know in order to kind of push you forward, or shift the vibration of the situation that you're in? Or where do you focus your attention? Maybe your attention is focused here, but you need to refocus it here, right? I don't know. Just kind of, again, some very broad general topics and ideas. Another really cool one that I like to do: guidance or messages from your spiritual team. Those are a lot of fun to do. I get a lot of people for those kind of readings. You can kind of group that into the cards of encouragement, as you kind of heard me mention before when that topic came up. But it's just kind of fun to be able to tune in and share those sweet little messages, things that maybe you didn't think of, or maybe things that you needed to hear from your spiritual team, those little confirmations that let you know that you're on the right track. They can be really encouraging and really beautiful. I really love doing tarot readings. I will be very honest with you. I am your honest tarot reader. I don't sugarcoat things. If something comes up that you need to be aware of, I will absolutely tell you. Like, maybe it's, look, Harry, sorry, Harry, not calling you out, but you know, you need to really focus on, your grades or your activities that you're doing right now, because you're kind of lacking in that department. Just kind of refocus your attention. That's just, again, a very general example, but um some people like that, some people don't. I'm not mean about it. I really try to be positive and look for how this is going to help you by refocusing your attention or bringing this situation to your attention, right? Okay. Now, a couple things here that I feel like I should share. As an intuitive reader, I have two, possibly three general rules. Okay. I don't predict death. I feel like you should live every day to the fullest. And I do not do spreads based on how or when one might pass. Sometimes that information might come through. It is not something I go digging for. Okay. So that's just kind of one of my general rules of thumb. Number 2, please do not ask me to do third-party readings. What you seek from a tarot card reading should have focus on you and or relationships or situations that you are directly involved in, or opportunities, events that you are directly a part of. Looking into what others have happening is invasive, and it can actually create karmic patterns in your life. So, just kind of a good rule of thumb, keep your doorstep clean, right? Mind your business. So, one more piece. Remember, I said 2 or 3. Health. I have kind of a funny story here. I am not a medical professional. If you have serious questions about your health, please seek the advice of a medical professional. Now, very recently, I had somebody come to me and say, as part of their focus is, what is my body telling me? Is there advice or information that my body is sharing that I should be aware of? And I kept pulling a card and it kept telling me to bring a focus to her liver. Okay. And she had recently been enjoying spirits a little too much lately. So she's like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense. So she kind of laughed about it. And, so that kind of stuff, that's a little different. But like if you have a serious health question, please seek advice of a medical professional, not a tarot reader. Okay. Now, back to the areas of focus, the topics, the questions. If you do decide to go into a reading with no questions, no topic, no area of focus, I encourage you to use this as an open door to see what is coming up for you and what you need to be aware of regarding that information. Please be open and willing to take the information in. Um, Quoting that same friend, park it in the back of your mind, let it marinate for a little bit. And sometimes you just may have to sit with it to understand why it's being offered to you. Okay. So, not saying that general readings are bad, but please, if you have questions or things that you are curious of in your tarot readings, bring that to your tarot reader's attention so that they can kind of hone in and give you a good answer so that you are getting the most out of your experience. Sometimes I do just go in and like I have a couple of readers that excuse me, that I like to work with, and sometimes I just want a general message. Sometimes I just want to know what it is that's coming up for me. And sometimes that message is very general and broad, and sometimes it takes a minute to sit with it and let it sink in, and then I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that totally made sense," right? So, just be open and aware, okay? All right. If you guys are seeking tarot readings from me, I have a few fun options I would like to share with you. And I will put links in the show notes so that you can go back and find these if it's something you are interested in. But just so you kind of know what some of my most popular readings are. I have the 30-minute tarot reading. This is a great option for the person who is seeking deep insight into a situation, or if you have quite a few questions that you may want answers to, as it offers you time to ask the questions that you may have or look at different choices and outcomes per the situation you are inquiring about. Again, you can come in for a general reading, no big deal. Please let that be an open door for you to see what's popping up for you, and then you can ask more questions depending on what's coming up for you, how you feel, what's being drawn to your attention. I also have a 15-minute tarot card reading. This one is probably my most popular option, customer favorite across the board. I feel like a 15-minute reading is quite ample. I know it doesn't sound like a lot of time, but when you get in for a tarot reading, it is quite sufficient, and I promise you that. This is the perfect option if you have a focus for your reading, or perhaps are just looking for a little bit shorter reading time than a half hour. This tarot card reading option affords you time to look into a situation and ask clarity questions you have in conjunction. Like I said, this one is absolutely my customer favorite. People can come in, they have quite a bit of time to work with. So if you guys have been wondering, 30-minute, 15-minute, most people are very happy and pleased with a 15-minute tarot reading. Just to put that information out there. There are people who do like that longer time slot and really have just a plethora of questions, or maybe it's been a while and you want to look at some different things. So, to each their own. Birthday tarot card readings are super fun to do, kind of like the year ahead spread, a very, very popular option. And I encourage you to treat yourself to a birthday tarot card reading if you have never done so. This tarot reading option gives you a review of the past year and will assist in getting you off on the right direction for this, for the following year. So, a lot of people who choose this tarot reading option, they will actually request me to type this up as an email and send it to them, which is totally fine. I totally, absolutely always offer that option, because sometimes it is just really nice to have that written up so you can print it out, keep it handy, and kind of see what's in store for you. And like my year ahead tarot card readings, I do some of those in person. I do offer those at the crystal shop around Christmas time, but those generally are always typed up. People love to sit down with their calendar and kind of see what's coming, what to be aware of in that month ahead. So, really a cool option if you are looking for something different, a very special treat for yourself. I would highly, highly recommend that. My fourth most popular, and not that they're in any general order other than the 15-minute, is definitely the top option for customer favorites. But this one is also pretty darn cool. The emailed tarot card reading. This is a quick one question tarot card reading that is delivered to your email as an audio recording with a picture of the cards that I pull. It's a neat option for those who have an area of focus or quick question that they would like answered, or maybe cards of encouragement or messages from their spiritual team as they navigate their journeys. This is also a very, very popular option. It is one of the most affordable readings on my website. People love these, and they receive, as a reader, not that I overshare, that's not what I'm meaning by this, but I like to really go in depth and kind of push it and get the whole story for you so you can see what I'm looking at versus, yes, this is a good option. Like, I'm going to tell you why I think it's a good option for you. So, highly recommend that one too. It's a pretty cool option. If you are looking for more, which I will also post the link to my website on the show notes, be sure to check that out. I do offer more tarot card reading services, and I also offer mediumship reading services, which are also a really great and helpful tool in assisting you in navigating your life, hearing from your loved ones, knowing that they are safe and okay, and sometimes they have some really cool things to share with you as well. So if you are local to me or visiting the Bismarck Mandan area, please stop in to see me at my favorite crystal shop on Saturdays, Treasures of the Sea and Earth. I am there from 10 a.m. to 4:30 every Saturday, and would love to see you for a tarot card reading. So if you are a person that likes the face-to-face option and you are near me, please stop in and see me. And like the 15-minute and the 30-minute option, you could, if you're not near me, you can book those, and you can either do a phone call or a Zoom session with me for your readings, so that it is more personal and face-to-face. But know that you always, always, always have the option to receive an emailed tarot reading too, if that's something you prefer. So it is now time for us to draw an oracle card. So this is the Fairy Tarot Card deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I love these cards. They're absolutely beautiful. So I want you to just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and if you have a question or an area of focus, I want you to tune in and think about that now. And even if it's just a card of encouragement or a message from your spiritual team, let's see what pops up for you. Here we go. The Sun, opportunities, plans that will work out perfectly, amazing ideas that lead to rewards and commendations, gratitudes for the blessings in life. The Sun card is all about opportunities that manifest and become reality and celebrating those opportunities. So it's like acknowledging the work that you have been working so hard to achieve. It's celebrating the completion of those tasks. It is everything that beautiful sunshiny energy is. So yes, beautiful, beautiful card for today. All right, guys, if you would like to learn more about me and the incredible work that I do, please visit my website, holistichealingtherapeutics.com. Also know that you can always reach out and ask me any questions that you have about the work that I do or how I can help you. And if I can't help you for whatever reason, I will absolutely connect you with maybe somebody who does. Like maybe you want an astrology reading. I know an amazing astrologer that I can connect you with, those kinds of things. So let me know. I'm not afraid to share. If you would love to drop me a review in your podcast player, I would love to hear from you. So drop me a review. 5 stars is always preferred, but I am open to your constructive criticism, however it may be. If you are watching on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the like button, the love button, follow me, share this out with your friends, tag a friend. You just never know who could use some good information. So I hope this was helpful for you today. Thank you so much for joining me, hanging in there while I work through the fog of the Canadian wildfires. May you all be safe on your path. May you all be blessed, and may you all have a beautiful week, and I will see you next week.